Mrs. Mostowski.
I got it.
Favor. Everyone, please sign, rise for the pledge of allegiance and please remain standing for a moment of silence. Adriana.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody, please remain for a moment of silence. We lost two longtime faculty members of our district recently. Miss Delcy Riefler Kells and Gail Mann. Mrs. Kells served in various roles in the music and theater departments and in the library as well. In the high school and maybe even I believe the middle school as well. To help our kids achieve their goals. And this man was a special education teacher at the Emmett Chase Elementary School. And both were with the district for many years. So our condolences go out to their friends and family. And we offer condolences for their loss. So we can please have a quick moment of silence. Thank you very much. Sounds electronic devices as needed. Motion to move the agenda to the table made by Mr. Cronin, second by Mr. Kersey. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda at this time?
There are none at this time, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, Dr. Redmond. Motion to adopt the agenda as is by Mr. Kersey, seconded by Mr. Broden. Discussion. All in favor? Carries. Motion to recess for the district-wide school safety plan public hearing. By Mr. Mostowski, seconded by Mrs. Greco. Any discussion? Favor? Motion carries. We are now in recess for the district-wide school safety plan public hearing.
Thank you, President Crumlow. So, good evening, everyone. Every year we are required to hold a public hearing on our district-wide school safety plan. There are very few changes to the plan this year. Some of you may be aware of a new law requiring schools to make plans for cardiac events. Those changes have been made in the school level plans. For district-wide school safety plans, that does not go into effect until January of 26. So we still have time to amend the district safety plan around that issue. I've highlighted the changes in the text of the document. There is one small change from the last time we met around metal detection. Good suggestion from the board. It just simply references our abilities to conduct metal detection screening. There's already a metal detection policy that's an appendix to so nothing different there. It's just a reiteration of that policy and procedure. So that being said, if you have these, board.
Try to sign it.
If we don't have any questions at this time. Get a motion to adjourn the district-wide school safety plan public hearing by Russo, 75. Leto, discussion. All in favor? She carries. A motion to reconvene the general meeting of the Board of Education by Mr. Broden, second by Mrs. Greco. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Approval of draft minutes of July 17th, 2025. Motion by Mr. Broden, second by Mr. Jersey. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. It does not look like we have any presentations this evening, which moves us along to the consent agenda. Ms. Gallo.
So I'd like to make a motion to adopt the consent item F1 through. Sorry. F1.
Do I have a second on that? By Mrs. Greco. Discussion. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you very much, Mr. Gallagher. Moving on from there, we have information reports and discussion. For roundtable, I'll start with Mrs. Gallagher. Brody.
I had the pleasure of attending New York State School Board Association Leadership Conference. So, the discussions were about the funding, or the lack of funding, the questioning about what was coming down from the Fed. And they're very vivid about what they were expecting projections and how it's gonna be divvied up. Withholding federal monies. And then it was very much focused also on wellness, helping people get students and their acclimation and their emotional adjusting in school and feeling comfortable and safe. And then I did really enjoy that it was not in Sullivan County yet, but their WGU is partnering with a number of counties to help their people get into the teacher track because we have such a deficit of people. That was a lot of learning going on. So, yeah, I have two pictures. I have slide decks that I got from me, and I also downloaded the snot out of those, and I have a QR code and the connection. So, yeah, I know Sullivan was not there yet, and that's the power of it. So I'm very much looking forward to that, as I really am a proponent of getting people, especially in the pipeline, in the Monty family, and seeing them achieve here. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Brody. Mr. Russo.
I felt like very easy process. As soon as we landed in every other Saturday, I think we start second. Kindergarten, but.
Never worked. Who's asking?
So I attended or watched one of the preseason volleyball clinics that have been happening 3 times a week here at the high school. So while that was really nice to see, the new varsity coach is holding them, and she's doing a great job with the girls, getting them ready. And there's also a production, not in Monticello, but at Sullivan County Dramatic Workshop starting this weekend, and there are a good handful of Monticello students.
So that wasn't a practice, that was a voluntary work.
Yes. Did I say practice?
No.
It is for all ages interested to enlighten them and teach them about the sport and things that we offer in the district.
And I give kudos to the athletic department for having voluntary workouts across the board in any sport. That you do with wrestling, football, volleyball. Quite a bit, and be quite active in some of our summer social. Mrs. Rath.
I attended the law conference last week at Mount Sinai College. It was through the Mid Hudson School City Council. NHS, yeah, but it covered a few topics in particular. One was transportation, so it talked about boards on who can be transported and who cannot be transported, or who's on the hook for it, as far as based on it, either our district or another district, or a combination of. So it's just, it was very insightful. Also use of technology, the legal use of it. So that was something like putting people's information in school tool. How much are you going to put in there, just in case there is you call it like a cyber attack. So if there's cyber attack, then the less is better. So you try to just your exposure as small as you can when it comes to kids' data. Also, there was a federal state interpretation of civil rights violations, and So walking that fine line and there's some vagueness there. And then also using teacher certification effectiveness, so if you have teachers that have multiple certifications, know who those teachers are and see how you can implement it so that you don't have to pay for additional teachers. Well, just food for thought. It's very, I think it's great to know those, obviously, but so if anybody wants any information, I've got the big thing packets that we happy to share. That's.
Nothing to report, Mr. Probably we answered paragraphs in the.
Sure.
I actually, the whole extension, I talked about that. I believe I'm gonna ask, Dr. Evans, when the actual, application deadline has to pass.
Correct.
So we'll be moving forward with the dinner on October third, so just want.
Induction.
Induction dinner will be October third, and we'll set up calendars, we're very excited, we're. Children have our dinner and our first presentation go on at night. And the other thing is we have Sullivan High School board meeting. And we tomorrow, it's Rosette, we have everyone had their nomination in for the on Wednesday, October 8th, but possibly October 6th now, and we're getting pencil on October 6th, so they're on market calendars. I thought
I arranged with Mr. Cologne, our oncoming board member, to have an orientation on Monday, so I arranged with him and Wendy, so me and Wendy are gonna sit with Mr. Cologne on Monday evening at central office. To go over his board orientation packet, get him squared away, so he will be sitting and getting sworn in at our next meeting. So that's all in the works. The board retreat, I think everyone in this was like on vacation or something. Responses have been very slight coming back from them. I did reach Dr. Evans, so our attorneys, Gercio and Gercio, part of our retainer is they will do board retreats. I reached out to Anthony and had a discussion with him surrounding that, trying to burn the candle at both ends. Their board retreats are really kind of surrounding the legal ramifications of boards and school governance and things of that nature. When I told him really what we were looking for, he was like, that's really not in our wheelhouse. And then I kind of went back to NISBA and started contacting two different people who were there, so I would hopefully get a response. As we sit here right now, I have not gotten that response, so I'm still trying to put that together. I can help. Okay, I will. We'll talk after the meeting. So we think Roland's gonna help out. Try to do that. The other thing is, with bringing on a new member, that means we are saying goodbye to the present member. So, Mrs. Greco, on behalf of the board and and myself included, thank you so much for your years of service. Your years sitting in the vice presidency, it's been truly appreciated. Ran policy committee for a couple of years. Your contributions to the district are not unseen. We truly appreciate your time here. We hate to see you go, but we do wish for you and your family bigger and better things, and really hope that you guys shine down in your next residence and the next chapter in your guys' life. So Wendy was tasked with getting you a few items, so on behalf of the board and come on, Wendy. No, you're not. You took the nomination. We'd like to present you these. You have to take a picture, Courtney's comments. And you will also be receiving a You'll also be receiving another gift in the mail. It just had a little bit of a lead time issue. So we thank you so much and appreciate it. Thank you very much. So with that being said, we move on to principal reports, which are in the agenda. Any questions, comments, or concerns regarding said principal reports? Moving on from there, we have a policy committee update. We did have a policy committee meeting prior to this meeting. And I will pass it off to Dr.
Thank you, President Crumley. So, policy committee tonight reviewed several policies. I believe 2 are coming back to the board for first reading for the next meeting. We gathered some information on another. There will be also a public hearing on a potential change to the code of conduct relative to definition of corporal punishment. So that will be at the next board meeting. And the policy committee is also wading through a good chunk of policies that all have slight changes in them because of subtle tweaks to state ed regulations around FERPA, right to privacy, personal information, and so on. It's not that the changes are a lot, it's just they're pretty heavy, thick policies. So it's kind of wading through the policy, finding a small change, then discussing it. So hopefully that will be resolved at the next policy committee meeting. And also at the September 4th policy committee meeting, Mr. Jasper will be here to talk about recommended changes to the wellness policy that come from the wellness committee. So that will be in the next policy.
And we do have the first reading with our building of emergency response plans tonight on the action plans.
Yes.
Those are confidential documents that are in the action item system.
While we're on that topic, as well as the district-wide school safety plan, at the next board meeting, I'll be recommending all of these plans for adoption. So if you have any, whatever we call hearing on the district plan, if you have any questions on the school plans, again, just to President Crumley's point, those are confidential, so that's executive session.
Any questions surrounding policy?
I can't remember what policies that no stuff.
It's, in our policy, correct, it's no phones. The state law, the minimum requirement in state law is no internet connected devices. That's the district policy committee and the board will ultimately decide on both phones, period. In part because how are we to determine that that flip phone is or is not connected? It's challenging.
Any other questions surrounding policy? All right, moving on from there, we have correspondence applicants. None at this time. Capital project update. Stand, Dr. Evans.
Thank you, President Crumley. So I've shared with the board some photos of ongoing work being done at Cook, Chase, and at Kennedy Field. I do have an update relative to the turf at Kennedy Field in my report. And as I was led to believe as late as this afternoon, the turf was going to go in on August 11th. Today we received no, it's actually going in on August 18th. So a week from Monday, we'll see the turf going down at Kennedy Field. It is not complete. However, they do, right now we anticipate the field only to be completed in early October. So even though the field will be in place, there's still a lot around it that will not be safe or open. So what you will see is that field be bright, shiny and new, but it's not. Not in water, the posts, right? So they're going up next. And while we're on it, let's talk about the scoreboard before I forget. So, right now, we estimate, I think I shared this with previously, the difference between board like the Daktronics digital signage and rails. Something like that, would be about 270,000 more than kind of base plan score. As we sit right now, there are monies available to support that in what's currently still in phase one.
Yeah, that's.
I'm talking it over with our architects and our owner's rep and construction manager. I feel it's probably prudent to at least get through the stadium construction. And then make a determination probably February, March-ish. About how much do we have left? And can we move forward and with the board want to install that? That's kind of the recommendation from that group. However, the board at any time can say, go ahead and do that. It would be a change order. But you know, right now, we're still digging up stuff and finding things that we're not anticipating. So I think sentiment among us, with the architect and construction managers, let's just get through the stadium construction and hold on.
We don't have to be set aside to begin with.
About $270,000 next season.
Based on, I thought we set at least 150.
Yeah, the difference though is about 200.
This doesn't make sense to me on a scope of things, because the normal square foot, they were talking about like 347. We would have set aside 150, we're only talking another 200, 270 seems a little hot.
I can go back and look, but that was my, go back and look, I know. That was
Next
my-
time we do that, the next owner meeting, can you have them detail that a little?
Sure,
bit?
yeah, yeah, we can, as we get closer to it. Sure.
And the timing system, is that gonna be later, or is that something we need to talk about?
That was not an issue.
I also thought we also had bundled freight because we already have a relationship with that products.
Right, based on this, it looks like the score would about be 400, and that doesn't seem right. But I think once we get the number, maybe we just can go in more detail
Sure.
and an update on the timing to make sure.
So just be aware, you're going to see posts going in there, those posts can support this. So that's right,
But the whole thing is that with this caliber, so the board knows, is that with this caliber of stadium and expanding from 6 to 8 lanes and having double the 110 meter in the front in a dish tangent to the track, this sets us up to be the preeminent school district of choice for state qualifiers. That's a whole lot of people coming here every year.
but not just.
And not just one, not just OCIA, we're talking about other. You could have Empire State Games qualifiers, you could also have masters that could, I've been contacted by people, instead of driving all the way to Manhattan, they were saying, we could use it up here for masters events. This could be huge, really don't sound like, so, Middletown is, so, yeah. But. I get it, but for up here, we have a draw for Sullivan County.
Well, and to that point, the point that you both raised is we are aligning with people for. To get around them. Yeah. Not that we're going that direction, we're
Oh, changes.
still with that change.
In girls flag football.
Yes. So that's update on the field, the field house, we had a kickoff meeting on August 14th with the contractors, construction managers and the architects. The library, the high school window project, we'll be doing bid openings on September 15th for that. Yes. And then, the board will probably be acting on those bids in early October. There's a change order coming next week. That will include some of the, spray foam installation, asbestos issues that I shared with the board previously. A new asbestos issue has emerged at Cook. Again, this was something that was not anticipated, but when they took the tile up. In the original construction of the slab, there was a layer of asbestos that kept kind of a moisture sealing.
That stuff is amazing.
That's what they say. They said there's something that asbestos we can work. This was it. Fortunately, when we put in the new vinyl flooring, that's not, one, you have to remove it with asbestos, but two, you have to put a different sealant down between the slab and the vinyl flooring. That's going to cause the change order, well, the change order is gonna be around 22,000 for that moisture, that piece of the change order is gonna be around 22,000. We're also going to have to do it at the 5 rooms and cook. So now we also know what to put in the project. So lesson learned there. For phase 2, which is St. John Street, looking for the designs to be submitted the first week of September. We got good word from SHPO, the New York State Historic Preservation Office, that we're looking to install fiberglass moldings, or we call them, on the outside and exterior, and SHPO approved that. It's good. So again, design submitted first week of September, hoping for a December bid opening for that.
Any questions surrounding the capital project? How is this reduced when doing with this new?
He's great. I saw him yesterday. He seems glad to do capital projects fast. And he agrees that this capital project is going to be much more efficiently and quickly than what the previous one did. A brief update on Cook, because there's a lot of work going on there that is progressing. It's moving along nicely. However, I think that last meeting, Vicky will be ready. It's not going to be finished. It is going to be safe for occupancy and habitation. We're in contact with the construction manager, we're in contact with contractors. We expect that the rooms will be made available to teachers by August 20th. Expectation, obviously things might happen, but right now we're still on track.
And has it all been relayed and coordinated with the construction people in the field? I believe the seniors were told once the or the 25th, 28th, they're having their senior barbecue and they can start painting their spaces.
News 3.
Yeah, I know, check about that.
Oh, you did?
I said, yeah, sure, but they can within that document, see the list, you could have given it. So, yeah.
So all the coordination on that backside is. No cheating. So I saw they started stripping the walkway on the front side of the parking lot in the last couple of minutes. Any other questions about just the project? Moving on from there, we have upcoming events. Listed there in the agenda, some community events, a few articles, interesting reads. Anne Marie, do we have any questions or comments from the public? Okay. Moving on from there, we have our superintendent update information, Dr. Grab.
Thank you, President Crumley. So, as I think was entered that previously, we're at second year state board of regents have officially adopted the proposed work for our graduates. This is basically a plan for updating, modernizing, graduation requirements in New York State public school districts. This adoption does not change any current graduation requirements, and according to a memo sent out by state ed to superintendents and administrators. They plan to release additional guidance to support implementation of the report by summer 2027. And all schools and districts will examine the statewide requirement for instruction is aligned to the course of students of the 2029 cohort. Students who are entering 9th grade, 2029, which fifth graders presently. Okay, they would be the first class to actually have options available for that. Okay, more to come on that. I want to welcome Eric Kaufman. He's not able to join us tonight. He's on vacation, but he will be joining us as the new assistant principal at Monticello High School. He comes to us from he's a public school science teacher in New York City, and he'll be relocating from Long Island this month. They'll begin tentative start date is Monday, August 25th. So we welcome Mr. Kaufman. As Vice President Galligan alluded to earlier, the Hall Distinction Committee will be meeting again on August 19th to cast ballots on the nominations. I think we have around 10 nominations. We did get a renewal of one just for the deadline. So again, we have some high quality candidates to get the induction ceremonies on Friday, October 3rd. Another leadership retreat earlier this week on August 4th and 5th. And I want to thank Ms. Carlin and her office for organizing it. I want to thank our legal counsel, Anthony Casano, Barbara Phillips from Red Cardinal Consulting, all who facilitated some very good discussions around legal updates. We review student assessment data, enrollment data, and other trends. We also began planning administrative goals for the upcoming year. I shared the template for that. And also, Barbara Phillips did a lot on professional learning community or PLC implementation for the upcoming year. So a lot of good work was done there. I did not attend NISBA summer conference, not attend Mid-Hudson School Study Council's legal conference, but I attended NISBA's summer conference last week in Albany, which was for the summer conference. Again, a lot of the topics there. I think that we are expecting our teachers and departments to produce meeting lists for the open house. They will be providing meeting lists of the materials at open house to get us to that. So that's after consulting with Anthony, he felt as long as you did that and then responded to any requests for religious opt-outs afterwards, and then consistent with the ruling. And last but not least, I'm asking the board to consider and adopt my goals for this evening. I did present them at the last board meeting. There is before I go there, let me take a step back. A reminder that the NISBA convention registration starts on August 12th. That is in New York again this year. And I don't know, Ms. Foss, if now's a good time to talk about the rescheduling of the October 23rd board meeting. Because we have the same date as the conference. So we need to talk about it now or a future board meeting date, but we do need to reschedule the October 23rd.
Right now, you're going, I'm going. Is anyone else planning on attending the state conference? Oh, still. It's still. It's. So that's the October 23rd, you said?
Yes. So,
Is our first meeting that is the 9th?
yes, yes, October 2nd is the Yonkin board. First board meeting of October 9th.
We have the 23rd, which we're looking to reschedule to. Is our first meeting November 6th.
Yes.
Right. So we want to relocate that meeting to earlier in the week. And kind of keep our 2-week kind of thing going on. So the 23rd, Thursday, the 21st or 22nd work for people, or you guys want to chew on it and decide next meeting? It's all kind of nuts. 21st works for you. Well, since she's okay, what about you guys? Oh, you're not gonna be. Are you okay with the 21st?
21st this month.
No, October. So why don't we tentatively reschedule that meeting for the 21st? January? Yes.
Thanks.
So if we keep agenda setting on the 16th. And we have everything uploaded on the 17th. Are we meeting our criteria, or do we need some agenda setting, or do you want even an extra? Agenda setting, we do an extra day to post.
I would suggest we move on the agenda, so just gives us a.
It's a little bit of cost. So did you move that one as well? And there is-
Seven to the one to the so use their laptop.
got that. So we're all kind of clear on that, so moving on to your goals.
Yes, so, I reviewed and tentatively finalized, my goals for the upcoming year. There's one slight change that's, I don't think significant, but, I do want to make sure the board's aware of it. And I hinted on it the last time, and that's around the graduation pathway opportunities. So we're very confident in being able to apply for and create a business and marketing CTE pathway. We're pretty sure, and I just got word today from Ms. Andrucha, that hospitality and tourism will be the other CTE pathway. But I just wanted to hedge my bets here in case that wasn't in place, but that we do create a second pathway. So I'm just looking for a little more flexibility there, still planning to deliver on two of them, just not being locked into hospitality and tourism. So today it looked very, what I got from this, it looked very promising. So I'd be happy to answer any questions the board has this time.
Question. Thank you. Just for the improved quality of services. The participation currently says office is 69%.
Yes.
Why, what is it? You know?
Yes, we know. So I'd like to be presented. I want to say 67 or 68. So it's adjusted for attendance. So we usually take the rate and multiply it on average yearly attendance rate. 67%. Or last year it was 67.
So then the only thing that I saw as far as the itemized goals strategies is, there was something about, hiring a kitchen consulting person. Either it's paying with another chef is an area that maybe even to look at what our kitchens have. I know they have minimal equipment. However, somebody who's knowledgeable and the type of ingredients that we can get to the state and be able to give something to this. We've always wanted to work with getting bread maker machines, so I just think that would be something that would be helpful and it would ease with some of the minds of some of the people on. Me, it would ease my mind knowing that someone that has the expertise walks through. Besides, I think the good people of Sullivan 180, I understand that the others that I believe that would file. Kind of themselves as well as what options.
So consultant to do. I don't say product, but consultant.
Something, yes, but because of many of our kitchens are similar anyways, I don't even know if they need to really be small, but what I'm saying is. The kitchens are made for like baby food, and some other things, but not, it's limited because it wasn't made for. Doing anything, in that use there, or maybe. Not doing anything with the modern that we have now, that could be a possibility, just something that we could. Look in the future and say, okay, maybe this is for now, but 5 years from now, see our goal, or really want to create. Close by, so we can do some of these. I agree.
I don't know who, I mean, I must be very, very general. Another question?
That's something that can be added and amended to your goals.
Yeah, so what I would suggest is, I'll verbalize it here. So why don't I just add it and bring it back? And it's not, that's it.
I have another goal. My question was, the last goal about retaining how,
Oh,
so it's at 94%. That was the percentage, now.
so again, we had to do this one by hand.
Right.
And it wasn't easily done. In my last presentation, we estimated that to be 89%. So what you'll see in my last presentation, we lost the change was 11%.
So that both of these goals were increased by 2%. So is that the same thing like similarly with the strategies of the goal with attendance? But now it's not being made, so it looks like it's better than before.
For 24-25, the average daily attendance was 89%. That was increasing by 1%. Well, it's kind of in the strategies. So. Implementing the July 1, 2027 school USDA school breakfast and school and regs. February of next year, so they have harder caps on added sugars, and so you're bringing down the added sugar content and bringing down the sodium. I don't know beyond that. I don't want to get too overly restricted here about how many times a month there's a certain pizza there. And how do you define what healthy is? You know, we're talking about whole foods, we're talking about whole food plant-based. How do we define ingredients? Well, but how do you define that? And because there's a lot of interpretation around processed, what is processed food? And how processed, how do you define it? So.
They were supplying a lot of people that have access, so maybe we go and like, you have a farmer, not so nice, so they can't sell them. They would actually donate them, not to notice our program for students even calling them for per dating our students, for per issues, for per stuff, just that is a wonderful thing. That was the only option one day from people that was being donated, that was big hardship. We even had so much something donated one time a year, they actually sent it, they prepared it, which all our colors did. And they sent it to, the shelter for, yeah, it was just a college thing, but, a lot of stuff is donated because of pretty partnerships with Cornell Proctor Extension, like they know, I don't really place to go.
But maybe that's something that a consultant, if when a consultant came in, they could actually say, we've had successful strategies in these types of areas, doing this type and that type of summary. Because I can only imagine there's areas outside Albany and Rochester, they used to be a lot more rural, that are kind of like us. So,
July.
So we do that recently.
Back on that. Well, it's just bureaucratic stuff. It's a reach, right? It's a reach, it's an open discussion, what would be. What would be got, not that a lot of people are going to talk to us about that area, but I know people that are in districts like this. But I asked the question, how much do you have? 800, who do you have? 2,000? Oh, we'll talk to you, you're gonna have to do it. But they all have the same thing, they have some that they call chocolate. And people fruit too, but you see, that you were doing the links and I. So. It's not so hard, it's then, it's. Probably just thinking. Different things, but. Our stuff in that. Right, so maybe, yeah, I'm not noticing this, so maybe. I'm just trying to. Put it out there, and maybe never show it, I don't know, but,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
it's not, but, make your point, it's not what I've done.
Yeah, so yeah, but, you know, if you put something like that in there, that, you know, nice, you say, hey, you know what, Brian, I haven't, you just don't know that. So like, I just want you to be able to end with your goals, to say, hey, I did this, I'm doing this. If you go to pro, and then you can be valuing on, and it's something good that transparency, that way, for them, so you are going to make sure we're looking for it, just here and people.
So, yeah, so I guess, some securing partnerships with local agencies and sourcing.
So we are going down, you know, it's not, you know, that we have to do that. How your options, right, and you are, you will get more. That's great, I appreciate that. You haven't. You know,
Yeah, it's not-
we gotta brand it, you know, we gotta make that stand on itself. No, it's a good thing. And then I'm sad, all right.
Did you learn something? Yes.
I think, some of the roles. I think that, teachers are coming in, I don't believe.
So I think, you think, one of them talk about credit, that would be a, that'd be a. Any way to plug that. Would be- So if you're, like, for example, if I understand this, you're giving some type of top rating. Some kids can go to health things or well, or like, it's great for them, well, even this week. That would be what she. That with teachers, readers. You were creating students. Good morning. I'm not disputing the lack and expensiveness of childcare. But in terms of, you know, standing that benefit for employees that have some significant costs there, as well as being gratitude benefit that really should be. How would I show that?
That's something that's 2 years away and not, you would also have to get the bargaining unit to. Because that would be like one of those hidden little things. When lots of times they really kind of go to salaries, the staff schedule and their health insurance. So then we're kind of sending like the superintendent out on a hunt that very well might not, even if he does a fantastic job at it, might very well have zero proof. So it just kind of. Yes, but is that time better spent to? That's where I, something.
I think if it's anything related to negotiations, there's ways to hold the thing over that, how it being. We do other things that aren't just listening. Actually, we have policies, we have budgets, we have new programs that we did last year that were all listed in my goal, and still do. So what could happen is, you know, if you go to the board and say, we want to do this. And I'm just like a little cautious about it.
Well, on, the first one, you're going out, putting in ranks. How, and I would like to see, like, what you come up with, so you need a policy to hire and how you change the board. I'd like to see the old thing that, you know, like that some sort of. You know, I'd like to keep that. You know, so now he's like the department saying, this versus or that, or, you know, I just, that's very broad, I like to know, I or some people, part of that, you know, one part of it, you know, even handshake, you know, what, I like to. You know, what, which you can allow or something along that line, I just, I'm curious, it is a very tough thing for them to.
Well, I mean, there is a hard date. That hit that October 21st.
It's like sort of feedback.
Yeah, and this is, you know, I think our hiring challenges are more driven by teacher shortage and more than any. There are certainly places in the system. Getting the cause of those delays. Might not require a big system. Or about who's working in the system and how it's following them. So what this would do is identify, you know, is it a system flaw, or is it, you know, a personnel issue? And, yeah.
Whatever it comes out for me, I just maybe. But it's not, I'm looking to find out. That is fine.
Any other questions surrounding the system?
I'm really appreciative of this stuff, but it's not much you've done already. Prior to over the.
Yeah, and I gotta get, yeah. And I want to thank you for that. And I want to recognize Ms. Carlin, Ms. Andrusha, Ms. Moore, and the teachers of all, particularly business teachers, Ms. Sholey and Ms. Awad, who have stepped up and let their support to it, you know, doing the application and getting them here, and any other teachers across the country.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Dr. Evans. Moving on from there, we have Assistant Superintendent for Business Update Information, Mrs. Isbell.
Thank you very much for the items. First one is like consultant services contract was up with this level for the line. And services not student placement services. This is more like analysis of psychological evaluation. Makes it happen. The other one is an educational services contract with the president that we keep personal education student placement. And the last one is the brick one block. Yeah, no, it's the risk operation center. We did this about 6 months ago and a couple of BOCES, 4 BOCES got together and they're going to provide compliance with like 1, 2, D. And the privacy for all of the contracts that we have. So this is an annual thing that we have to do. It takes the learning in places that are them.
The Center for Discovery, have you used them before for these services?
We did have a contract last year, we minimally use them. And usually it's, we're thinking about like some of the, like, we would maybe the evaluation, but one of ours. It's not a lot. Not a lot, so this is something that.
But I know that there's OT on there and PT, so we do have in-house PT and we do outsource the OT, so we would kind of be duplicating our.
It's kind of their thing, so before they'll accept. Okay, be better off.
And do we get any reimbursement from SED for this?
Yes, we would staff for all those costs for that.
Oh,
Not 100%.
Any other questions for, moving on from there, we have our update, from our assistant superintendent, curriculum and construction. Start.
Thank you, President Crumley. Good evening, everyone. So the first contract that I have on there, time to eat, catering, that is an MBK, product that they've used before, and they are planning on having, up here. So they are having a community with, event where they're inviting local agencies. And they're going to have a performance from high school students, a presentation from SALT. Families will have the opportunity to visit other tables, discuss resources available to them. This catering company will be providing a meal. Monticello students will receive a backpack and school supplies, and everyone that attends will receive a hot meal. All of the funding for this comes directly through the MBK grant, no general fund money. And again, this is the second year we use this contractor. The next contract that I have on there is the private school agreement to wrap up the school year. That particular grant ends August 31st, so we're trying to use up the rest of the money. The third contract is our EPIC contract, so I did include for your information a little bit more about EPIC and what they do. So they work primarily out of St. John Street with our children younger than pre-K to get our students in and get them used to school. There's a lot of parent workshops that it puts on. And they also have expanded. Last year was the first year where they're doing more parent family engagement outreach all the way up through high school. There's a component of title that we have to put a portion of our title money towards family and parent engagement. This qualifies for EPIC, comes directly from Title I. And it satisfies the requirement that we are putting some of that money towards parent family engagement activities. The fourth contract that I have on is the Town of Wallkill Boys and Girls contract. So the Boys and Girls Club have provided in the past, and then again, the last 2 years after COVID, kind of brought them back again. They had stopped for a little while, so this will be the third year since COVID ended that they are back in the middle school and high school. They have a middle school program that is pretty robust, 5 days a week. Kind of acts as not latchkey necessarily, but tutoring, after school enrichment for 6th or 8th graders. And then we also have a high school program. And again, I included, for your knowledge, some information about both middle school and high school program. Boys and Girls Club contracts are paid for solely through different titles. So some of it comes from Title I, some of it comes out of Title IV, and some of it comes out of Title V. And then the last contract on there is the Healthy Kids contract. So you had already approved the RFP for Healthy Kids at the last board meeting. And so this is the quote, the contract for Healthy Kids to enable them to provide latchkey for pre-K through 5th grade. And again, there is no general fund money that comes from the district to support this. The only money that comes from the district is the money that comes in the after school grant, and it gets funneled through us basically and out to Healthy Kids. It is based on enrollment, so they can only bill us for their enrollment for each month when they bill us, and they have to show proof of that enrollment. We then pay that invoice based on the enrollment, and then we get reimbursed. So that is what I have for you tonight. Do you have questions?
The program description, those budgets, if you're 24 to 5.
It's probably, yeah, I had reached out to them to ask them to provide that for us, and I just.
So high school starts in October.
Yes. Yep, that should be 25.
I should be down.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're welcome. Moving on from there, we have our action items. So I need a motion to table, T2. Motion by. If you want to do it, go ahead. You do
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to table T2.
it. Second on that by Ms. Jersey, any discussions? All in favor? Motion carries. Scott,
So I'd like to make a motion to take action item S1. Sorry. Yeah, so I guess you're gonna make me a problem. Yeah, T1. And T3 through T12 as a group.
second on that by Mr. Russo, discussion, all in favor? Motion carries.
Now I'd like to make a motion to approve action items T1. T3 through T12.
Second on that, Ms. Greco, discussion. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you very much, Ms. Galligan. Moving on to closing the meeting, correspondence, none at this time. Henry, do you have any questions or comments for the? Okay. Motion to adjourn. Motion by Ms. Grant, seconded by Mr. Russo, discussion, all in favor? Thank you very much, everybody.